For today's video, I just wanted to go over my lift kit on my 2013 Chevrolet Silverado. Specifically, I'm going to be going over my 3.5-inch rough country suspension lift kit, and that is without the factory control arms, the aftermarket control arms that come with the kit. And I also have a zone 1.5-inch body lift for those who think that this is lifted more than 3.5, because it is. And here is the kit. It's a 3.5-inch spacer on the front, nothing fancy. The diff was dropped an inch, wasn't done right, so the other parts are not put into account, so everything is at a terrible angle, and that's just how they make the kit. The kit was installed correctly. And then in the back, they put a 3-inch block with the removal of the factory 1-inch block under there. So it's a very simple kit, and I've read over quite a different lift kits and stuff like that. That's my credibility before I chose this one. There was an overwhelming disapproval of the original rough country 3-inch kit that came out. A lot of people were having different problems, and eventually it came out with a 3.5, of which I bought that one. And it's pretty cheap. I only paid actually $250 for this lift kit, believe it or not. I didn't get the aftermarket rough country control arms, and that's what saved me a lot of money. So I still do have my factory control arms, and there actually is a lot of complaints about this kit, and I saw a lot of problems people were having. Now I was thinking those problems are from off-road, but actually it's from people that don't really do much, and it's just a bad kit to buy. And honestly, I haven't had any real problems. I've had like a squeaky ball joint, but that's about it. And that's probably because I kept my factory control arms, and that's why they offer the new ones, because they are at a better angle for your control arms. You'll see in people post pictures about the ones with the aftermarket control arms, and they're a lot better angles, at least for the control arms themselves. So I think I've had this lift kit for about 15,000 miles now, and I haven't had, like I said, many major problems. Honestly, I haven't really had any problems at all, knock on wood, and I hope I don't have any for a long time. I've taken this kit down to 5-hour drives down to like Ocean City. I've taken this on long drives on hikes and stuff like that. I've taken it trail riding, off-road. I've beat it up in the snow off-road. It was pretty bad. I didn't mean to do that, but it happened, and the kit is still fine. And here, I'll show you where the spacer specifically is. It's right there on the top. It's a top spacer. They dropped the diff an inch, which isn't really enough, and the truck isn't actually completely level either, because there's actually only about 1.5 inches of less lift in the back, which you need at least 2 inches, 2.5 inches to actually level the truck. So honestly, I would not recommend buying this kit. If I could go back, I really wouldn't ever purchase this kit ever again. And actually, when I got on the kit, the lift blocks in the back were put on backwards by the small shop I put it in, so I had to go to my dealer, and they actually figured that out for me. I didn't even notice, but they fixed that for me, and I still haven't had any problems because of that. This lift kit also comes with aftermarket rough country shocks in the back here, as you can see, and 2.0 shocks. Have the stickers on the shocks, pretty awesome. But yeah, other than that, the kit is pretty basic, and the real reason of why people say do not buy this lift kit, it's not just because it's a small kit, it's not just because it's just a simple kit that you can buy and it's cheap and the parts aren't made that great, because rough country doesn't really care. It's because it is basically a 3.5-inch leveling kit. Yes, that's what I said, 3.5-inch leveling kit. Many people say do not level over 2 and 2.5. And then you're probably wondering, well, how is it a 3.5-inch leveling kit and my truck isn't level? Well, they have the 3-inch blocks in the back. Well, anyways, the way it's the 3.5-inch leveling kit is because they drop the diff about 1 inch, and they don't even do it right. All the other parts are still at a horrible angle. So really, it's a 3.5-inch leveling kit, which is just putting extreme stress on my parts right now. Everything's been great. It's a new truck, so I didn't expect anything to happen or anything to happen for a while, but I do want to get rid of this kit as soon as I possibly can, because I want to have a long living truck and not having to replace my parts and have a nightmare of a vehicle that's not even that old. So anyways, another kit that's just like this one, and a lot of people do have problems with, is the rough country 7.5. Now that lift kit is the 5.5-inch 5-inch rough country lift kit with a 2.5-inch level stacked on top of it, and that is why the 5-inch kit is the same price, because they just throw a level in there for cheap, because you know those aren't that expensive and they want to make more sales, and people were like, oh, a 7.5-inch lift kit for $1,000, that's a pretty good price, I'm gonna buy it. Well, the way they do it is terrible and just as bad as this lift kit here. So, and that's the 6 is just with a 1-inch level on the top. If you want to say it that way, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, do not buy, if you're gonna buy from Rough Country, which I don't recommend because apparently their customer service is also terrible, I would not recommend buying the Rough Country 3.5-inch lift kit or the 7.5-inch lift kit. If you were to buy a lift kit from them, you should buy the 5, because it's a full differential drop of 5 inches, which makes your angles completely flat. But if I were to get a lift again, I would not buy from Rough Country at all, and that is the reason, because of how bad of an experience I've had this one with my angles. And I don't know, I just don't like the kit at all. I don't think the quality's good enough for my truck. I believe I should have the best quality, and so I'm probably going to be going with a different lift down the road, a completely different brand, probably match my Zone 1.5-inch body lift with the Zone 6.5-inch suspension lift, because there's very good reviews on that and a lot of people get that lift kit. So that's about it for this video. Just my little review on the lift kit. And squeaky ball joints happen because obviously my angles are really bad. I could show you how bad the angles really are. If you look over here, you can see that my upper control arm is at a terrible angle there. It honestly looks like it's bent almost, but really that's just how the kit made it. And I honestly don't like that at all. The travel is not right. It should not be like that. You have to also cut your factory bump stops, which I didn't like that either. That's a horrible thing to do, because you know, if you go over a huge bump in these terrible Pennsylvania roads, obviously those bump stops are there for you, but I don't even have them anymore. And that's just another reason why to get the upper control arms that come with the kit, but it's a lot more expensive. I didn't want to pay the extra money, so that's why I went with my factory upper control arms. The kit also, which I forgot about, comes with a skid plate, as you can see right there. So that's basically the whole kit, is shocks, a skid plate, a spacer, and rear lift blocks, replacing the factory lift block. And there's really nothing else much to the kit. The only real true benefit that I do see of this kit, now this is a great thing to have, and for those of you who don't know if you like the lift or not and want to take it off, or you know, you're thinking about selling it, it's obviously going to just be better to sell it without the lift kit on it. Well, you can actually take this lift kit off easily. There's no welding done, besides obviously removing the, well, that's not even welding, but they cut the bump stops off. That's the only real major modification that's done to the truck to lift it like this. So you can really take this truck back to stock if you wanted to, put some new factory bump stops on there, and then it's just exactly how it was. So that's the only real plus, is that you can actually take this truck back to stock. The real benefit of the lift kit, other than that, there's no other real benefit besides the looks, and it's not good for off-road, obviously, because of the harsh angles of the truck, which I'll show you again here right now. So if you aren't trying to have any problems, do not buy this kit. It is the Rough Country 3.5-inch leveling kit for an 07 to 13 Silverado, which all the kits that are small like that are made the same. And more money up front, so you're not replacing problems in the future and having a total nightmare with your truck and just dumping money into it and parts keep breaking. Your truck is not going to like that. You're not going to like that either. So if I were you, I'd save the money and buy the bigger kit up front, because obviously right now this is not the way to go, and I actually do want more height, and I can't go any higher because obviously this is a maxed out leveling kit as it is. So the only option I have is to remove the leveling kit, which I do want to do anyway, but don't make the mistake about buying this up front, because yes, I only paid $250 for the lift kit, but I also put $300, $400 into the labor cost and time of just not having my vehicle to drive and having to go pick it up and waiting on it and everything. And it's not right. They didn't even put the lift in right in the back anyway, so it's just not worth buying at all. Do not buy from Rough Country. Their service is horrible. They make terrible products when it comes to lift kits, especially the 3.5 and 7.5. If you have to buy from Rough Country, buy the 5-inch lift kit because then you'll keep flat angles. Other than that, go with other brands such as Zone, McGoy's, BDS, Cognito, CTS. They all make great lift kits, great reviews. I'm part of silverado.com. I do a lot of reading on different brands of lift kits, and Rough Country is the one that is bashed on the most. Everyone takes them off, especially the 7.5. People do not like the quality. They have problems, things break. They do not want to deal with Rough Country ever again, at least the guys that are planning to keep lift kits for a long period of time. And that's actually what I want to do. Like, now that I'm lifted, I just can't go back to a stock height. I just can't. The stock Silverado 1500 height is just way too low for me. So yeah, that's about it. And that's my rant for really with the Rough Country lift kit that I have on my truck, and Rough Country honestly in general. So if you guys have any more questions, just shoot some comments below. I have gone some hardcore off-roading in this vehicle. I didn't get any footage because it was actually at nighttime, which is another bad idea, but still bad things happened anyway. So it was just not the kit to get, honestly. It's just a terrible kit. The real reason actually that I did buy this kit, besides the cheap price, was that I was able to keep my stock wheels and tires. I had a lot of tread on my tires and I didn't want to buy new wheels at the time. So that's why it appealed to me to keep that, but I think I figured out that I could actually have kept my setup anyway with the bigger lift. So either way, just do not cheap out in the beginning. Save your money, buy the better kit. Do not waste your money and time on the Rough Country 3.5-inch lift kit. So if you guys enjoy this video, please subscribe and hit that like button. Everybody have a good night out there. Take care. See ya.